Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all my lovely students of class 5. Dear students, this is your science teacher Ms. Nayra, and today we are back with the first lecture, right? The last class was about orientation where we had the introduction of book and copy. Today we are going to start our lecture properly. We are going to start our chapter, right? So I again welcome you to class 5 and let's get started. So guys, the very first chapter that we are going to have in our book is Understanding Living Things. The chapter number 1 that we are going to learn, which I am going to teach, is Understanding Living Things. This chapter is our chapter number 1 and it is on page number 1 of your science book. Now guys, here comes the table of content that we are going to cover in this chapter. So first of all, we'll learn about what are living things. As being the student of science, all of you know very well that what are the living things. If I ask you to differentiate the living and non-living, so I know that every student is mashallah capable to differentiate living and non-living living things, right? But if I ask you to define it, if I ask you to define this term living things, so maybe many of the students do not get proper words to define it. So that is why we must concentrate on those features, those characteristics of living things which are important for a thing to be living. Okay? वो चीजें जो किसी भी चीज को living बना रही हैं, we must know how to define them, right? So we will learn about what are living things. Then, yes, of course, while learning these things, we must see the common features of all living things. Okay, one thing is that, for example, if I ask you that, how many types of living things are there? So many of the students will answer me that there are 2 types of living things, plants and animals. So if I say that moving from one place to another is a feature of living thing, but can all living things do that? No, plants cannot move from one place to another. So here we are concerned with common features. Here we are concerned with common features which is available, which made anything living. Okay, so we'll not learn about movement over here because movement is not common feature. It is in animals, not in plants. So here are 5 main things which are present in living as well as non-living things. Common features. Common feature is a word that is indicating that these properties should be there in all the living things, even plant, even animal, even bacteria, even germs, whatever we think that is living, that must have these all 5 common features. And what are these features? These are living things are made up of cells. Living things are made up of cells. This is very important. The point number 2 is living things grow and change. When you were born, so you were like a little baby or kid. Then you start growing and you start getting changes as well. Okay, so living things grow and change. Number third thing is that, wait. So the point number 3 is living things need energy. Can we do anything without energy? Not at all. We need energy to do all our work. So are we only the one who need energy? No, plants also need energy. That is why we are discussing this feature in common feature. Common feature means this feature will be there in all living things, even plants or bacteria or animals or the other things. So photosynthesis is a process that we'll be learning for plants. Plants get their energy with the process called photosynthesis. While if we talk about the animals, they get energy by respiration. So we'll learn about respiration and respiratory organs. The human beings, the other animals, the fish, the birds, the insects, they all do not respire the same way. They are having their different organs. The respiratory organs are different in different animals, so we'll learn about that as well. Right? Living things respond to their environment. We can respond to our environment. If I ask you to speak, you will definitely speak because I am the part of your environment. And if I want someone from you, you will definitely respond. And the last feature is living things reproduce. Living things can increase their number by reproduction. Okay, so these are the 5 features which we'll be learning one by one in detail, from which we'll cover 1 or 2 today, and rest of the features will be covered tomorrow. So first of all, let's see what are the living things. What we are going to learn now, we're going to learn about living things. Living things are the things that are alive, that are alive. They need food, water, air to stay alive. If we do not get air, how would we get oxygen then? How would we exhale carbon dioxide? Where would we exhale carbon dioxide if there is no air? So definitely we cannot stay alive without air. Water, you know that it is very necessary for life. Food is very necessary for life. So these are the things which we really need. They have the ability to reproduce or give birth. They have the ability to grow and change on their own and respond to the changes in the environment. And the two main categories of the living things are animals and plants. Now here you can see many of the non-living things, including sun, chair, table, water, ball, rock. Are they able to move from one place to another by themselves? No, they cannot. By themselves? No, they cannot. There was internet issue, so that is why I was disconnected. Okay, so I had shared the screen with you. So here we are back. So here we are talking about those things which are not living. It means they are non-living things, right? And we can see that what are the features of non-living things that are the opposite features of living things. For example, we can move, non-living things cannot move. We can grow, they cannot grow. We need energy, they cannot. They do not need energy. They do not need food and water. They cannot reproduce. They cannot breathe as well. Okay, so here we go on the next slide where you can see many of the things which are living and non-living. Can you differentiate them? Yes, I know that everyone can differentiate them. In the last, we'll be having a kind of test, a kind of assessment where you will not be having books and copies. That would only be on your screen, and you will answer me in the chat box, right? So as I told you that in this chapter, how many common features of living things? 5. How many common features of living things? My every student should know that there are 5 common features, but the screen which is in front of you, that is showing 6 features. So this one, different levels of organization, we are going to skip over there. That you will be learning in your secondary classes, or when you'll be 6 or 7, I don't know in which course it is included. But for now, we must know that there are 5 common features which are necessary for all living things, right? And that is, they are made up of cells, they respond to their environment, they can grow and develop, they use energy, they need energy, and they can reproduce. Now here we go with 5 common features that is included in our course, our syllabus, our content. So here comes the common features of all living things, from which the number one is they are made up of cells. Number two is they can grow and change. Number three, they need energy. Number four, they respond to the environment. And number five, they can reproduce. Right? So from where we are starting, we must start with the very first feature, that is all the living things are made up of cells. So first we should know that what are the cells. So if you see this wall, what is the building block over here? What is the thing which has made this wall? Of course, the building block is the brick. It means the bricks are arranged in a manner that one after another, one onto another, there are many of the bricks, they are joined together and they have successfully made a wall. Likewise, there are number of the cells. There are trillions of the cells, not million, not billion. There are trillions of the cells in our body. They are arranged in a manner that one after another, one onto another, and likewise they have made our body, right? So as this wall is having a basic unit as brick, the basic unit of the body is cell. The basic unit of a body, either the body of animals or the plants, the basic unit is cell. The basic unit of living body is a cell. Is that clear, guys? The basic unit of living body is cell. So if I ask you that, if I ask you, tell me the common feature, definitely you will tell me that all the living things are made up of cells. But if I ask you to define cell, so this one line should be memorized by every student. And you must know this on your fingertip, that the basic unit of living body is cell. The basic unit of living body is cell. Our liver, our kidneys, our lungs, our stomach, each and every part of our body is made of cells. Is that clear, guys? Each and everything is made of cells. So point number thing should be clear to you, that all the living things are made up of cells. Now here another line is written, all the plants, animals, even the bacteria and viruses are made of cells. And what is the cell? That is the basic unit of living body. Now here you can see some moving cells. Here comes the animated picture for you, where you can see number of the cells. These are blood cells basically. Basically these are blood cells. So you can see that they are round in shape. Okay, remember this thing, all the cells in a body are not same in size, in color, in shape. They are different from one another, but there are number of the cells in a body. Okay, and they are the building blocks of a body. Now, according to the number of the cells, we have divided living things into two main categories, and these are unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Okay, all living things are made up of cells. This is clear. Now, according to the number of cells, we have divided the living things into two forms. On left side of your screen, you can see the structure. These are the structures of the germs especially. Amoeba, paramecium are there, and apart from this, there are germs and virus. Right? So unicellular organisms are the organisms which are made of only one cell, that I'm gonna teach in the next slide. Okay. Multicellular. Multicellular, multi means many. Uni means one. Just a minute, beta. So, uni means one. Uni means one. Uni means one. If you know the meaning of the word, you will definitely know the definition. Likewise, multi means many. I cannot write well with key with the mouse pad over here. ठीक है यहाँ पे ठीक से मुझसे लिखा नहीं जा रहा. I wanted to write over here many. right? So uni means one, multi means many. So multicellular means many cells, unicellular means one cell. Okay. So the unicellular organisms are those organisms they have only single cell in their body. That single cell is their body basically. And the organisms which are having many cells, which are having many cells, are called multicellular organisms. Now here comes another slide in front of you where you can see that the uni is a word that we use for one. That we use for one. Unicellular organisms, an organism that is made of only one cell. This one is very important, beta. If you know the meaning of uni, you will definitely know the definition of unicellular, right? Now these organisms are very, very small because cells are very tiny. Cells are very small. They are as much small that we cannot use our naked eye to see them. We use something which can have the good resolution, which can make like see, the cells are very small, like a dot, even smaller than the dots. Okay, so these things, these cells, one cell cannot be seen with the naked eye. So what do we use? We use microscope for this purpose. For this purpose, microscope is used to see unicellular organisms because they are made up of only one cell and cell is very small. So if they're made of one cell, so definitely they are going to be very, very tiny and we cannot use our naked eye and we cannot see them with our naked eye. So we must use microscope to see them. Is that clear? Unicellular cannot be seen, can never be seen with the naked eye because they are so small, because they are having only one cell. So that is why we cannot see them with normal eyesight. Now here comes the next category, which is multicellular. As I told you that multi means many. That many will include two or more. So if the organism, if the thing which we are calling as living, if the living thing is having one cell, that will be unicellular. If it is having two, if it is having three, four, million, trillion, so that will be included in multicellular organisms. Okay, so all the living things that you see around you, including your family, the plants, the animals, even the ants and the flies and the bees, these are very tiny, but still they are having millions of the cell in their body because cell is very tiny and a small organism can have number of the cells. If we are able to see any organism, that is definitely going to be multicellular because unicellular cannot be seen. Okay, so whatever animal or other living feature, living being you see around you, so that is the multicellular. So if I ask you to give me the example of the multicellular, so you can make a very like list having many of the examples. Okay, the names of animals you can take, human beings will be included, plants will be included, okay, many more. These organisms are able to be seen with the naked eye. These organisms need all parts of themselves to survive. With few exceptions, we are not going to discuss that exception over here. So guys, the common features are five. The common features of all living things are five, from which one we have discussed in detail, that is, they are made up of cells. First, we have seen that what are the cells, then we have seen that according to the number of cells and how many categories we have divided the organisms, then we have seen their different cells. I hope this is clear to you. Now, this was number one. Okay, and now we are going to see number two. They can grow and change. Living things can grow and change. Now here you can see the puppies can be changed into dogs, the birds into flowers, the child into adult, seeds into plants. What are these? Basically, when a puppy is born or a child is born, okay, gradually he or she or that child or that puppy will grow, and with growing they'll be having some of the changes as well. Okay, their size will be increased. And why their size will be increased? Because the number of the cells will start increasing gradually. Is that clear? So the living things can grow and they can change. So why we are growing, why we increase the height, why you can observe this thing around you very well, that the puppies can change into dogs, birds into flowers, child into adults, seeds into plants. So basically, the number of the cells in their body are increasing. So that is why the size of that living being will be increased. One more thing, plants keep growing as long as they live. Okay, you might have seen, or definitely you know that if we talk about the living thing, if we talk about the human beings, human beings can grow, human beings definitely they will change, right? So their height will be changed at some extent. Here you can see in the diagram that there is a baby, then you can see that how the height is increased. But here comes the point where we have the maximum height. After that particular age, the height will not be increased. This happens with all the animals. This happens with all the animals, not only human beings, but the animals as well. But when we talk about the plants, on the other hand, plants will keep on growing as long as they live. For example, if a plant is having the life of 100 years, till that last year, the plant will keep on growing. This will keep on growing as long as they live. That does not mean that they are having the extraordinary height. No, their leaves will shed off, the new leaves will come. Their flowers, their fruits will be, it will shed off, and there would be new flowers, there would be new uh, vegetable and fruits, right? So plants will keep on growing as long as they live, and animals will stop growing at certain age. Now here comes the page number 1 of your book, from where this chapter started. I want my students to read out this. Here we'll be having reading by students and we'll be underlining the important lines one by one. Yes, those students who are interested and those who want to read, they can raise their hand in the participant box and I'll unmute them. So the turn goes to Faiz Irfan. The turn goes to Faiz Irfan. Faiz, beta, I have given you the access to unmute yourself. Now it's your turn to unmute. Zainab Siddiq.
मिस मिस आई वांटेड टू से दैट आपकी वॉइस आने लगती है फिर उसके बाद बंद हो जाती है फिर दोबारा आती है फिर बंद हो जाती है.
Okay, there might be internet issue from my side as I was disconnected once. Okay, but there can be issues in your gadget or your connection as well. Okay, because not all the students are getting this problem. You are getting this problem, so maybe this issue is from your side.
Okay.
Okay, beta. Okay, Zainab. Abil Hassan.
Miss, can I read?
Yes, beta. First, call out the name of the chapter. Start from Bismillah, then call out the name of the chapter. Okay, and then start from the first line.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The chapter name is Understanding Living Things. Some things around us are living and some are non-living. Plants and animals are living things. Rocks, chairs, and water are non-living things.
Mm.
All living things have at least 5 features in common. Living things are made up of cells. Living things are grow and change. Living things need energy. Living things respond to their environment. Living things reproduce. A
Very
cell.
good. Okay, wait. Beta, who are you? Tell me your name.
Abil.
Abil. Okay, Abil, very good. Okay, beta, I want all the students to underline this paragraph. This is very important. This is the thing that we have discussed in the lecture as well. Okay, all living things have at least 5 features in common, and these are the 5 features. So underline these 5. I want all of my students to know these 5 features, right? Yes, Abil, thank you so much, beta. You can mute yourself now. The turn goes to another student now. Okay, so Haris Imran, Muhammad Haris Imran.
Assalamualaikum, miss.
Walaikum assalam. Haris, how are you?
I'm fine, miss. आपकी ना जो वो आप अभी दिखाई थी ना स्क्रीन मिस वो मुझे बिल्कुल भी शो नहीं हो रही मिस.
Okay, beta, as I told you to another student that there can be the internet issue. Okay, so that is why the purpose of recording is same. If due to some of the reasons you cannot listen to your teacher properly, or you cannot watch your screen properly, so you can go to the link and you can re-watch the lecture. Okay.
Okay, miss.
Okay, beta, I want you to continue the reading from second paragraph. This paragraph, living things are made of.
Miss, I am.
Yes, you.
A cell is the smallest part of
First
a
call
living
out,
thing.
recite Bismillah, then call out the heading, then start reading.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Miss, शुरू से.
No, from here, living things are made up of cells.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Living things are made up of cells. A cell is the smallest part of a living thing. Most the cells are so small that we can only see them with the help of a microscope. The bodies of plants and animals is made up of cells. Some living things are so small that they are made up of a single cell. Large animals have millions of cells in their bodies.
Okay, good. Better underline this one line, every student. All of the student must underline this one line, that most of the cells are so small, okay, and we cannot see them. We can only see them with the help of microscope. Underline this line, okay. The one thing that we underline is this one paragraph, all living things are having 5 features in the common.
Miss,
Yes.
miss,
Mm-hmm.
miss, underline क्या करना है?
This line which I have underlined on my screen, on my slide, most of the cells, the paragraph that you have read, the second line of that paragraph, most of the cells are so small that we can only see them with the help of microscope. Okay, here basically we are talking about the cells. I want someone else to read out this one paragraph, this one. Do you know? This
Miss?
one paragraph is also important. Yes, beta.
Miss, I read.
What's your name? Who's speaking?
Guys,
Faiz. Yes, Faiz, beta. Read out this one paragraph which is on the corner.
okay. Living things that are made up of only one cell are called uncellular.
Uni. That is uni. Uni means one.
Unicellular organism.
Amoeba.
is an
Uni.
unicellular animals, living things that are made up of several
Several.
cells are multicellular organism. All human beings are multicellular.
Human beings are multicellular. In this paragraph, there are two definitions. Number one, unicellular, the organisms which are having only one cell in their body, and the multicellular organisms which are having several cells in their body. And here, the example is also there. Amoeba is the example of unicellular, while if we talk about the multicellular, we can have thousand of the examples because this is so simple. Okay. Yes. Those students who are unmuted, I want them to mute themselves. The next student is going to be Abdul Sadi. Abdul Sadi. Sorry. Yes. Unmute you. Unmute yourself again, beta. Mistakenly, I have muted you. Abdul Sadi.
Assalamualaikum, Miss.
Walaikum assalam. Abdul Sadi, beta, you need to read the next page, not the next page, next paragraph, which is on the screen. Living things grow and change. First, recite the Bismillah and start reading. Abdul Sadi.